Hi, this is Lisa Rangel with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about a mid-year career review. It's July, always a good time to do a checkpoint, see where you're at, see where you're going, see how you are progressing towards where you're going. And I think going through these 3 points that I'm going to outline will help you do that and really make sure that you have clarity on what you should be doing for the next 6 months. So the first thing to do, it may seem obvious, but I'm telling you to do it anyway, is go revisit your goals from that you put into place in January 2024. And obviously this could be any year, but we're in 2024. So I think this is a good first step. Revisit your goals from the beginning of the year. Now, that may sound obvious, and you may have been looking at them all along, but I want you to look at them as if you hadn't looked at them since January, and do a fresh eye approach where, some of the goals you may put down may not be relevant based on some of the twists and turns that happen throughout the year. So, do a gut check. The first thing is with your goals, in revisiting your goals, make sure they still serve you. See if they don't need any adjustment. And if they do, adjust them. And if they don't, great, right? But don't assume because you put it down in January. Sometimes people make the mistake because they put it down in January, they have to stick with it. I've taken more goals off my list than sometimes I've kept on. And being beholden to goals that don't serve you anymore is terrible, I think. So make sure they serve you, and then make sure that that you still want them, that you still want to achieve them. So 1, revisit your goals. 2, see where you are at in relations to those goals that you're keeping. How far along are you? And, what have you been doing per month to get to this 6-month point? And extrapolate out, if you do that same pace for the next 6 months, will you hit it? Do you have to dial it up? Is it okay to dial it down? And, sometimes people get crazy when you say dial it down, but if you did so much already towards that goal, are you really going to hit it sooner than later? 1, is it the right goal, right? Do you need to increase the goal? Or 2, maybe it was the right goal and you are going to get it done in 9 months, and that's okay, right? Because that space that is created by you hitting the goal early can help you create some thinking time for the next thing, or it can help you take a mental health break. So, hitting goals early isn't always indicative that it maybe was the wrong goal, right? So that's part of this mid-year assessment, is not only making sure that the goals are right, but and they still serve you, but is it the right level? And then, determining yes or no on that. So see where you're at. Go back to number 2, is to see where you're at in relation to that goal. How far along are you? And what will you have to continue to do to hit it? And what calibrations need to be made? So 2 is that comparison to the goal. And then 3, this really has nothing to do with goals, but I find that this is always a good time to do this, is look at your LinkedIn connections and consider doing a massive purge, cull, whatever you want to call it. I tend to do this on a regular basis. In the summer of 2020, when we all had a lot more time on our hands, I actually deleted 8,000 connections over a period of a couple of months. And I have since then probably deleted another 8,000 just in a regular, cull, each week, each month, that sort of thing. So, I am slow to hit any milestone, that's for sure. Any connections milestone or follower milestone, because I'm always deleting and culling. And, there can be many reasons that you use as a evaluator that can, allow you to decide to disconnect with someone or keep them. Note that when you disconnect with someone, you also lose them as a follower. It's important to know that. Or maybe it's not important to know that, but, because if you're not meant to be with them, it doesn't matter, right? So, but, I look at things like, have we been connected since 2014 and I still don't know who you are? I don't remember you ever hearing from you, or you haven't heard from me either, right? This is not a blame game. We're all guilty of this. The relationship is 2 sides. do you do something that I will never know how to help? Does it seem like I may not inspire you based on what you post and what you stand for? Do you not inspire me, right? That's important too. Like someone has to inspire me too. Are you someone I think I can serve? These are different tactics that I use to evaluate whether I should, keep a LinkedIn connection or not. And, it has helped me maintain a much more fulfilling connection group and follower group, because I know everybody's there because they want to be there and I want them there, right? It's a combination of both. I think that really makes a great connection list and a great follower list. So I'm not into collecting them, and I'm not into the get to 50,000 in 6 months. I am the slowest, get to the next milestone person ever, and I'm totally okay with that. But use this time, this midway period, to look at your connection list and make sure it's serving the goals. That's the only way it does tie to the goals, is make sure it's serving your goals and what you're looking to do next, and the type of fulfillment you want, and the type of fulfillment you want to provide. So if all this resonates with you, and once you assess where you're at against where you're going and determine that you just need some help, you might need our Get Hired Fast bundle. It's a combination of all of my DIY materials with a bit of a coaching call access, just to help you with that most pressing question. And if you go to gethiredfastbundle.com, you'll be able to buy that. But even if you don't do that, these 3 points, just doing that today, this week, will help you just have some clarity over what you need to do for the next 6 months. So thank you so much for watching. And if you know someone who will benefit from this, I'm going to ask you to share it. If you liked it, I'm going to ask you to like it. And if you have a comment or a question, feel free to comment below. You can DM me. You can send me an email at lr@chameleonresumes.com. I do my best to reply to every comment, DM, and email. Not perfect, of course, but do my best, I promise. And I feel like I'm leaving something out. Oh, subscribe to the channel. This way you can ensure that you do not miss next week's video. So look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great holiday week if you're in the US. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take good care. Thanks for watching.